And then let's talk a little bit about the online area. So today, you walk into a pharmacy with your prescription, you then get it filled, and you go home with your medicine. There are some reoccurring online services that are out there. But 5-10 years from now, how do you see the digital format evolving for prescription drugs with online services like Amazon? And then how does that blend into the pharmacists like you were just talking about with their advanced degrees? And how does that all shake out as online services become more and more prevalent in our society?
Well, the one thing I can pretty much guarantee is it won't shake out in one way. The market is so big. You're talking 400 billion today, growing easily at 8%, something like that. Older population, more medications. So there's going to be lots of interesting large segments and lots of interesting small segments. So, let's talk about a couple of them. Maybe the most interesting, or one of the most interesting, is pharmacogenomics. So if you're talking about digital and you marry up your 23andMe profile with a consultant pharmacist who can now take his or her time to look at your genetic profile and say, you know what, you've got a couple single nucleotide polymorphisms and everybody's going to know what their SNP numbers are in the future. You've got a couple SNPs that lead us to believe you're not going to be able to metabolize this particular drug real well, or you might metabolize it too well, so let's adjust your dose. So there will be a whole segment of the profession that's just started now on kind of consultant pharmacogenomics, which will be powered by the data and the trend toward, okay, we're going to pay pharmacists for their time. So that's just one aspect of it. You could see pharmacy contracting or pharma contracting for medicine now becoming much more scientific. You're just hearing the beginnings today of the term value-based contracting or outcomes-based contracting. We don't think anything about spending $40,000 for a car and we expect a warranty. We expect guarantees. If something doesn't happen, we're going to get service and we're going to get something back. Do we think of that in terms of drugs? Do the insurance company think in terms of, we're spending $50,000 a year for drugs for one multiple sclerosis patient? What are we getting in return? These technologies are going to allow a much finer definition of that problem and getting to that answer. So outcomes-based contracting is going to be one thing that's going to look much different 5 years from now. Pharmacogenomics is going to look much different. You will see more distribution channels, as 90% of the prescriptions today are generic and are relatively inexpensive. So it is easy to see the market kind of possibly bifurcating, where a lot of these generic meds will go through what we'll call non-traditional channels, pill pack or direct to consumer or something with Amazon. Well, Amazon pill pack, something along those lines.